What's going on, people? Welcome to United View and welcome to another video. I'm joined by a good friend of mine, Michael Bridge from Sky Sports News. What's happening, bro? How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yes, I am good. I'm good. Thanks for coming on, man. We wanted to get you on for a little while. If you guys didn't know as well, Michael is obviously also a Spurs fan as well. And this video, obviously, ahead of the game that we've got coming up against each other on Saturday evening, 5:30. I wanted to do something a little bit different because obviously the manager that's on the name of a lot of people's tongues is Mauricio Pochettino. For some good reasons and for some bad reasons. And I'm not going to go into it, guys, in terms of my opinion, because you guys know how I feel about Poch. I think that he actually could be okay for us. I like Ten Hag as well. I like both of them. I just don't get the massive hate towards Poch. But this isn't about what I think. This isn't about me, giving that perspective. But I thought since we're playing Spurs, who better to speak to than a Spurs fan and a really knowledgeable guy, as Michael is. That's right. I've picked that up. And yeah, I wanted to just get your thoughts, and you guys put your thoughts in the comments about this as well, because basically, Bridgie, my general consensus I've seen with the Man United fan base is a lot of people don't want Pochettino. They would rather Ten Hag. They think he's more progressive. They think it's more exciting. They think his style of football is better and stuff like that. All valid points. I do like Eric Ten Hag. But the Pochettino thing, obviously, as we're recording this, this is going out shortly, so he just got knocked out again at PSG in the Champions League, blew the lead. PSG kind of synonymous for doing that. How do you see the Pochettino thing as a Spurs fan and as a football analyst? Would he be a good fit for Man United, in your opinion?
It's always difficult because it's a bad defeat. It's a damaging defeat for him. PSG, they've had Thomas Tuchel, Unai Emery, and they won everything domestically, and it still wasn't enough. They still got sacked. Poch didn't win the league last year for PSG, so he's not actually doing that great there. And obviously the poison chalice of all these great players, all these great signings, and it's not worked out. So I can totally understand why Manchester United will feel a bit, are we bringing in a bit of a failure here, And Eric Ten Hag, it's a little bit like it's the unknown factor as well. He was linked heavily with Tottenham as well in the summer, Eric Ten Hag. But with all due respect, the Eredivisie is a weaker league than the Premier League. The French league is a weaker league than the Premier League. And what I would say is that Mauricio Pochettino has proved it in the Premier League and for Tottenham Hotspur. And we talk about goals and attacking. I'm telling you now, that was Tottenham's best period of football over the last 15, 20, 30 years. And I think the problem we've got here, and I'm going to get it straight out, it's the T word, trophies.
Not Tottenham.
No, and rival fans like to sort of jab Tottenham with it. As soon as the game finished last night, Arsenal fans on Twitter saying, "Well, Poch will always be Spurs." He spurs it up again. But he finished second with Tottenham and third. 90-odd points was one of them. The best free-flowing football I'd seen, and he had a really good squad. I understand the Manchester United's doubts. But then again, with the Ten Hag, I do wonder, is it because he's a bit of an unknown factor as well, and there's a bit of an excitement there as well? So it's an interesting one what happens now, because little bits I've heard, Pochettino wants to come back to England. And I think that's pretty much an open secret now. It's clear that it's not working for him completely at PSG. And let's face it, Flex, if he wins the domestic treble at PSG now anyway,
don't mean anything, does it?
Well, let's be honest. People aren't going to go, "Wow, amazing, well done, you." So it's a bit of a poison chalice for me, PSG, and I think he'll be more at home. I listened to his interview of Rio Ferdinand on BT before the match, 8-minute interview, and he's called Tottenham his home. I was like, wow. And Spurs fans still want him back, but they've got Antonio Conte, who for me is one of the best managers. Yet Gary Neville said he wasn't the right fit for Man U. Gary Neville is an incredible pundit for Sky Sports, but from a personal perspective, I can't understand that one. Antonio Conte would have completely...
A lot of Man United fans wanted Conte at the time and were surprised that we didn't get it.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'd have gone for it. He would have wanted it as well. He wanted to come out of his summer break, and United is still an incredibly attractive job. But he went to Tottenham, and and Antonio Conte, as we've all seen, guys, and girls, that he said he's got more work to do at Tottenham than he's ever realised. And But then again, you know, you'd say to me now after seeing the City performance, there's a lot of work to do at Manchester United. So, yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what happens there.
Yeah, it is an interesting one. In terms of Poch and how he is, this is me playing devil's advocate because, you know, I'm kind of going to rep the side of people who, you know, really want Ten Hag and are not really for Pochettino. And I'll do a little bit of both. It's about devil's advocate. But in terms of Man United wanted him a while ago. That was a couple of years ago. Like, he's not the same guy anymore. Like, he took Spurs to a Champions League final, didn't win it. Had the best team in Spurs' history, didn't win anything. Is that a fair assessment though? Like, to say that basically he's past it now, like that ship has sailed. Do you think he's still got it?
It's funny you say that because in my WhatsApp group with Tottenham yesterday, someone said he needs a sunbed. He looked pale. He looked, I don't know. Guys, right, go on Google. Right? Tottenham beat United 3-0 a few years ago. Lucas Moura.
Come off the bench at Old Trafford.
Poch had this suit on. He looked the business, like a bit George Clooney-like. Last night, he just looked a bit tired and just, I don't know, I just feel he doesn't feel at home there. And, you know, with anything in life, you want to feel at home and you want to feel welcome. I don't think there's a connection between him and Paris Saint-Germain. I can totally understand him wanting the job. But as I say, it's not going well there. And I don't think it's doing a hell of a lot for his reputation. So in terms of Tottenham getting to the Champions League final, actually, Tottenham lost a hell of a lot of games that season in the league. And the wheels were starting to come off. And the summer before that, Spurs didn't bring anyone in. No summer signings. And Pochettino talked about, you know, I think he said it's Gary Lineker, Tottenham have to be brave. They have to. And he was talking about, you know, making big decisions in the transfer market. And if you see now where Tottenham are at the moment and the struggles they've got is because, you know, it's like in anything in life. If you stay still, you go backwards. And that's what Tottenham did. They stayed still. They accepted, you know, third and second, which was great, really, on the face of it with the other teams around them. But they had a great team. They had Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Rose and Walker were the best fullbacks in the league at the time. Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Ericsson, you had Dele Alli on fire, Victor Wanyama, Musa.
And these are all things that Pochettino made. He built that.
Yeah. I mean, when Pochettino joined the club, he made Adebayor vice captain and Eunice Kabul.
I forgot he was there.
Yeah. But he changed the attitude. He soon realised, he went, this isn't good. I've made a mistake here. And he changed the whole culture of the club. And the culture of the club then going on was basically, this is a good young team. I mean, a lot of people admired the way Tottenham played back then. And
nobody wanted to go to White Hart Lane. I remember them seasons there, probably, what was it, 14, 15, 13, 14, 15, 16, probably, I think. And then what was it, 17, 18, you went to Wembley. So I remember not wanting to meet Tottenham at White Hart Lane in that period. They were unbelievable. They were intense. They were at it. They were after you. They were clinical.
And Ericsson, actually at Wembley, I think we beat you 2-0, and Ericsson scored like 12 seconds. Like, even at Wembley, it wasn't a big
Phil Jones scored an own goal as well.
But so is that? I mean, we don't know the answer to this. Is that still the same Mauricio Pochettino? I mean, great job for Tottenham, and he didn't win an FA Cup, and he didn't win a League Cup, and there seems to be this obsession in this country that you've got to win something to get acknowledged. We've seen it the other day with Harry Kane, overtaking Thierry Henry's goal scoring record. But someone say, "Oh, what's he won?" And it's straight that. Okay, so he's got to win the Carabao Cup to get some kind of recognition. So, but it's none of us really know yet what Pochettino, Man United or Tottenham. If Antonio Conte decides in the summer, look, I've got too much to do.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, I've got my fears / doubts about his.
How would it make you feel? How would it make you feel as a Tottenham fan to see him go to Manchester United? Would that hurt?
What, Poch?
Yeah.
Not really, because there's a bit of a split with Tottenham fans. That Tottenham fans want Poch back because he got us, he loved us, blah blah blah, and I want Conte long term. Because I think Conte's better. So if Pochettino goes to Manchester United, then that eliminates the Poch returning to Spurs, because I think it can happen. So it's very interesting. I mean, you could see maybe if Conte walks from Tottenham, Poch goes to Tottenham and you get Ten Hag, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting in the next few months because I think Pochettino, he's not silly. He's a very intelligent guy. He'll know that his time is coming to an end at PSG. Surely.
Yeah, 100%. At Manchester United, though, if he was to come here, how do you think he would deal with, and this is probably a lot of people's other criticism of him, the expectation is different from Manchester United to Tottenham. The level of the club, the size of the club, the magnitude, the drama that comes with it. How do you think he can manage? And obviously, look at the state of Manchester United right now. We're in a mess. There's going to be a big clear out. How do you think he would deal with that pressure and the pressure to actually, let's be honest, whoever the next manager is, we want them to deliver the top trophies, the Premier League, the Champions League. So for somebody who's never gone anywhere near it, well, I say anywhere near it, got to a Champions League final, but for somebody who's not renowned for winning big trophies and still technically hasn't, how do you think he would deal with that pressure at Man United? With the squad that we've got, or the squad he can assemble?
Yeah, I mean, I think even now, you know, people at United are getting itchy feet on trophies, aren't they? I mean,
yeah,
we go back to trophies and Jose Mourinho, the, you know, one of the biggest managers in the world, but still got sacked by United. But, you know, what did he win, Flex? The League Cup? He won the Europa League? You know, okay, he counts the Community Shield as a trophy. Fair enough, you know. Does. But even then, I remember, Flex, and you'll know a lot more than me about this, but like not many United fans were having him, were they? And like,
no.
You know, I looked at United side when you beat Ajax in the Europa final. I'm like, wow, that wasn't the greater United side, but you won the Europa League, and the Europa League is such a hard competition to win. But he didn't really get that lauded, did he? Really, for winning?
No, not really. No. And we haven't won anything since.
No, exactly. And Louis van Gaal won the FA Cup.
Yeah,
clearly that wasn't working. So for me, Poch, what will Poch need to do at United to really get the fans on side? I think a trophy is the bare minimum. I think it's about identity. I think it's about getting the right players in. So it's like everything, Flex, when we work on the transfer shows, isn't it? It's recruitment. And also, you know, look at United on Sunday, like making tough decisions. Even the likes of Marcus Rashford, you know, a national hero, a United hero, local boy. Do I make a decision on him? What do I do about Fred and McTominay? Can I upgrade there? Because I always think you can as an outsider. But Pochettino will make those tough decisions.
Will he make those players better? Because I look at when we've at Spurs, you know, like you said, players like Danny Rose, players like Trips, players like Wanyama and Dembele and all these types of players, brought in Son, bit of an unknown entity, elevated Harry Kane, because he was already there when he got there, weren't he? But was it Tim Sherwood who gave him his debut? Can't remember.
It was Harry Redknapp against Hearts, and he missed the penalty in the Europa League. But yeah, I mean, he came into the fore. You know, he started scoring in the Premier League under Sherwood,
and then passed it on to Poch.
Yeah, and then and then
so he elevated all these players. Yeah, is that if you look at Man United, we're in a situation where we're actually saying a lot of these players, mate, ain't up to it. They need to go. You know, you look at all four fullbacks, people ain't happy. Harry Maguire, obviously, Scott McTominay and Fred, Marcus Rashford, Martial. There's a lot of players in there. Cavani's going to leave anyway. Ronaldo, God knows what happens. Do you see a world where Poch can handle that and actually get more out of what we've got, or trust him to say, clear that out and I'll restart?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Tottenham when he like what I was saying earlier, like he had a completely different squad, and over time, like he sort of molded it. And he brought the right people in. I mean, talk about, like, obviously Roy Keane loves to have a pop at Spurs, and fair enough. But like, typical soft Tottenham. When we had Victor Wanyama and Moussa Dembele in the middle, we weren't soft. We were not soft. And you know, as you said earlier, no one wanted to play Tottenham. Tottenham's final year at White Hart Lane, they won 18 home games and 1 draw. It was like they won every home game apart from 1, and they were just unbelievable. And we actually had United last game at White Hart Lane. So
we lost that as well. I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, I think again it comes down to recruitment. But Pochettino, in terms of improving players, if they've got it in them, because there's some players I just think that's your level. You can't. And Tottenham have got a lot of them right now. And you know, but back then, they like the likes of Danny Rose, the likes of Carl Walker. he made them even better. And look at Kyle Walker still for Manchester City, you know. So I think he would improve a few, but there's clearly a collective agreement that Manchester United need to bring better players in. There's no doubt about that. But I think he'd like a Scott McTominay for sure. But yeah, it's intriguing, really. It's really intriguing. I mean, how much power does Ralph Rangnick have going forward? I mean, do United rest all their laurels on Ralph Rangnick's opinion? That's what I find interesting.
It's whether they will listen.
Yeah.
Whether they will listen. Man United have to do something, in my opinion, that Man United don't normally do, which is change the structure and the way of doing things at the football club. I.e., if the manager comes in, fully get behind that manager and allow that manager to imprint his style and philosophy and principles, whether that be Ten Hag or whether that be Pochettino. Yeah. And they also have to change, like you said, about the sanctioning of players and agree on a strategy of type of players that they're going to do. And they need to get rid of players, like similar to Spurs, that are on massive wages, not doing anything, not performing well, and not fitting in with the long-term vision of what we want to do. We need to start doing things long-term. And actually, I think whether it's Ten Hag or Poch, and again, I'm not opposed to either or, I just like them both the same. Yeah. I just feel like there has to then be an acceptance that we're going to have to lower our standards a bit again and say, listen, forget competing for the league next year. Forget that. We have to start again and literally rebuild something.
Exactly. I've just got to take a call, 2 seconds. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Just put yourself on mute. That's fine. As Bidgie was saying there, like I feel like Spurs will. Yeah, no worries. I feel like Spurs get tarnished with the thing that Pochettino never won anything, which I get, but I feel like he was tarnished by the PSG job. I think he probably would have been better off taking a sabbatical, even though this would have been a really long time, and not having any job then, or not the PSG job. And the fact that Man United fans see it as, we were supposed to get him a couple of years ago, but Ole kept surviving. Ole was always one game away from the sack and managed to get that big win where Pochettino was waiting, and it never happened. So don't want him anymore.
And do you know what? It's like a substitute who never comes on. He's always like Donny van der Beek, right? Yeah. Where's Donny? You know, like, and it's like the other night for Everton, he looks just like the whole Everton side. He's been sucked into that averageness at the moment. But for all those months at United, and I was messaging you, Flex, get Donny on. Like you get more popular when you're not involved. And if Poch did wait for this long, but then it is a long time. And at the end of the day, if you get offered PSG, he's probably on a cracking wage. Yeah, you know, and in the summer, like we were in the Sky Studio together, like getting in Ramos, Italy's best goalkeeper. He's just won the Euro Player of the Year award, but it's not worked out. Yeah, but it's not worked out at all. And it's like at weekends, I'm getting to a stage now where I'm getting something on Twitter saying Poch one more game from coming back to England. I'm like, oh right, PSG have lost again, and they had. Yeah. They lost to Brest or something like that. And it's like, why are we rewarding failure? But if this is the guy that managed Tottenham and he's still got that fire, that hunger, Man United are going to get a really, really good manager. And I know this means nothing, but he is one of the nicest men.
Every player says that about him, doesn't he? Yeah.
My goodness. I mean, I was with Carl Walker-Peters the other day in Southampton, and he off camera, he was just saying, still and keeps in touch, still gives him advice. And his man management is just off the charts. But I do realise we're talking about Man United here. We are talking about one of, if not the biggest club in world football. But what I would say to the Ten Hag lovers is like, just be wary of the Eredivisie, and it's Norwich would probably finish 7th or 8th. I mean, mate, it's just from what little bits I've seen, some of the goals and. And it'll be, it'll be a tough start for Ten Hag as well. Every match in the Premier, I don't mean to be a cliche here, but every match in the Premier League is a toughie. So I mean, we were linked heavily with Ten Hag.
Yeah. But, do you like him? Do you think he's a good manager?
Yeah. I mean, from the outside, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to pretend I'm a Dutch football expert, and I haven't seen enough of him. But,
I think that's a lot of the fan base probably hasn't as well. But I think the bits they have do seem really exciting. Yeah. He's managed to. What I like about Ten Hag is that he keeps rebuilding his squad when all his best players go.
Yeah.
He plays front foot football, and we did a podcast with We Are Ajax TV, and they obviously follow them home and away and know so much about Ten Hag, and they were saying that he doesn't have a plan B. He's got one way of doing things, so he'd have to adapt on that. But also what they were saying is the way that their clubs run, which I found because I picked up on that before I even interviewed them. I was like, Ten Hag's environment at Ajax is so different to Man United. It's such a well-run football club with everyone singing on the same hymn sheet. And the big question mark for me is, what would Ten Hag be like? Kind of like they're out there on his own, having to fend for himself, having to try and build a new culture under Richard Arnold and Matt Judge and people like that. It's a completely different environment, as well as trying to learn the league.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head, because I know Mark Overmars has had to leave with problems, but him and Edwin van der Sar working together in that recruitment structure.
Yeah, they're not coming to Man United with him.
Exactly.
So that would be my worry. But I do like Ten Hag. I think he's a really good man.
Yeah, I mean, any appointment is a risk, isn't it? So
exactly.
It's really intriguing.
There's no Klopps, there's no Contes, there's no dead set.
It's funny, isn't it? Because Roy Keane talks about Simeone a lot. Has he been at Atletico for too long? He's been there for so long. And if Antonio Conte decides to leave at the end of the season, I don't know why Man United wouldn't be looking at this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, as I say, going back to what Gary Neville said about not the right fit, I'm assuming Gary is when he says that, because he is a bit volatile and he seems like a short-term appointment going by his part.
And it's not something that Man United, I reckon I think the exact reason we did not get him is because our board and people who make the decisions literally thought we can't have Conte pushing and bouncing down his corridor, banging my door, saying I need that. We can't have him in press conferences going up. Look at what's happened at Tottenham straight away. If that happened at Man United after we lost the game and he's like, board need to make a decision on me. I don't accept this. I don't take losing. That's not the Man United. They don't want any of that smoke. And that's why a lot of Man United fans are saying that's why they prefer Pochettino, because bit of a puppet, bit of a more quiet guy, just going to take it all in.
Is that, in your opinion, the reason why Jose didn't work at United? Because respect, three times, respect.
Unbelievable, 100%. I mean, 100%. The character doesn't fit. And I think at the time, City just got Pep Guardiola. Jose was out of work. We had to go and get a big manager. It just fit at the time. But when you look back on it, even though technically he's been the most successful out of all the managers we've had, in a weird way, it got toxic. He's falling out with players again, but then we went from that to Ollie, which is the complete other end of the spectrum, which is all smiles, all hugs, all arms around the shoulder and stuff like that. And look at that, underqualified but a club man. So there are no. I think that there are no dead certs. For me, whilst Pep and Klopp are still here, achieving 90 points plus, I don't think anyone's going to win the league apart from them two until one of them goes. Until that little period of domination just goes.
I completely agree. I actually look at. I mean, guys, I'm sorry. I mean, I suppose it's the worst, isn't it? Liverpool and Man United, Liverpool and Man City for you both. But I know Liverpool's a little bit worse, and I think getting Luis Diaz now, like they could actually. There's a huge gap coming, because Chelsea are going to have some serious problems now with Roman Abramovich. That's going to take time. How much money are they going to have to spend in the summer? So I hate saying this because I'm a Spurs fan, but I like what Arteta's doing at Arsenal. I like what he's doing. And if they get the top four, but there is a bit of a gap. I'm not talking Rangers Celtic gap, but there is a gap at the moment. So like all appointments are important, but United have got to get this one right, because they don't want to be stuck in that bit, all the time. They don't want to be stuck there. But if Conte stays at Tottenham and gets a budget in the summer and he's happy, then I'm sure Tottenham are going to be up there next season, because he's that good. I rate him that highly. And Kane
just needs the players.
Yeah. Now, if Kane and Conte leave, I think Tottenham will finish 10th or 11th next season. That's
bad.
Kane is that good. I mean, honestly, look, I'm hand on my heart here. He should be at another club winning things, but it's not happened for many reasons, and they didn't get anything near that what he was worth. But he is still there, and if Conte can keep him and he stays, then Tottenham, I think, will be a force next season. So And obviously, you've got the Ronaldo situation as well. You don't know what's going to happen there. So there's so much for this new manager who's going to come in.
It's going to be crazy.
You know, who's a people person? Who handles the A grade?
Who can handle it? Exactly. And some people say that Poch has now shown at PSG that he can't handle the big egos. Is that a bit unfair? Because they are super. That's a Harlem Globetrotter team. That's not even. There's super teams and then there's super teams. There's super egos and then there's super egos.
Yeah,
like,
I'm intrigued.
You know,
I just find it interesting at the moment. It's either Poch or Ten Hag. When could something out of nowhere, like, oh my God, you know, like, I didn't think of him. I like the sound of him.
Luis Enrique's been mentioned. Carlo Ancelotti was mentioned short term.
I mean, Roy Keane always says about Simeone. Like I said, I mean, who knows? But I mean, I'm that big a fan of Conte. I reckon United missed the trick there. I really do.
To finish off, last couple things, Bridgie. So on the Pochettino thing, do you think he goes to Man United or do you think it'd be Ten Hag?
Oh no!
God. Or who do you think Man United? Your opinion, who should Man United go for? In your opinion,
I think this is really tough, Flex, because this is coming off the back of a failure. And
I know. We picked the wrong day to record this.
This is what you get me on for. Answers. I would like to see Pochettino at Man United because I know Sir Alex has always been a huge fan of his. I think Poch liked the idea a few years back as well, and he always had that maybe glint, sort of like, one day maybe United. So I think I'd be really intrigued to see. And if it's the Tottenham Pochettino, United will be getting a really, really good manager. Okay. If it's the one who's been at PSG, is just so hard to gauge.
It's really just a hard match at Tuchel. Same thing with Tuchel. He got to the Champions League final and lost. Yeah. He bottled against Man United 2-0 up.
And look what Tuchel did. Look what Tuchel did weeks after Lampard going. They went from the same squad to winning the Champions League. It's just
PSG can't be the metric. I think they're the common denominator in ruining managers.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, but I don't want to be biased because I know, like I said, a lot of you guys in the comments, and I'm very aware, want Eric Ten Hag and do not want to go anywhere near Pochettino. I understand I'm in the minority that I
understand it as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and like I say, I've got to make this clear. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, if you want Ten Hag, you're clueless. Like, no, I like Ten Hag. What I'm saying is I'm equal. I don't mind. I'll get behind either. Two quick things. Harry Kane. Obviously, we're playing each other on Saturday. Just thinking forward, I know this might be one of your nightmares. We spoke about Pochettino. If Pochettino did go Man United, could it be something where you see Kane going Man United?
That's a great, Flex. You've just hit it out of the bag there. That's an amazing question. They have an amazing relationship, and Man United will always be Man United. I think if Tottenham finish fourth, then Kane will stay.
Yeah.
Because that's what he wants. That's the ambition. He'll be back in the Champions League. So
that would probably make Conte stay as well.
Yes. So March now. We've got 2 months. Get me back on in May.
We'll be talking about that a lot.
Because we're going to talk Kane in the summer. There's no doubt. It always happens.
I don't think City go back in for him though.
Maybe not if they get Haaland. But I mean, look, I think everyone who's watching this, please watch what he did against Everton. That left foot, that is his weaker foot. Brings it down. He's just phenomenal player. And the older he gets, he'll drop back a bit more. And as Carragher was saying, his vision for passing, like De Bruyne, he could be our creative midfielder in a couple of years. I genuinely believe that, Flex. I really do.
Okay, fair enough. And onto the game, Bridgie. We're both inconsistent. You did really well against Everton, but a poor side. You did really well against Leeds, but a poor side. We got absolutely spanked by City. We're drawing games against Watford, Southampton. The list goes on. Villa. Too many draws. How do you see this one panning out? And is this a must-win game for both?
It is. I think for Tottenham, it's don't lose because they win, lose too much at the moment. They're so inconsistent. I think if they get a draw, then they go to Brighton on the Wednesday. It's must-win for United, for not just football, just for the table reasons, but they've got to right that wrong from Sunday. They let the club down in the second half. That's not good enough. That's not the standards any Man United should expect. and you've had a full week to prepare for the match. You've not had a Champions League game, so you should come out all guns blazing. I think it could be a tight one. I think it could be a high scoring. So Bobby Charlton once said, Man United Tottenham has always been one of his favourite games in the 60s, 70s. It's always been a glamour game, and I think it's still got that kind of special edge to it. It's why it's always on TV. Even when Tottenham were rubbish in the 90s, it was always on telly. So yeah, I'm going to go. Spurs fans won't like this, but I'm going to go for United 3-2.
Wow. Okay. Not a lot of Spurs fans will kind of, like you say, just say really what they think deep down.
I'm the realist.
Might lose. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Listen, Bridgie, stay right there as I end this. But big up to you for coming on, man. You guys check out Bridgie at Michael Bridge on Twitter. He's always up there.
At Michael Bridge _.
Michael Bridge _ link will be in his video description below. He's all on there ruffling feathers if you fancy entering the Twitterverse for some laughs and stuff and some important information. Check him out on Sky as well. Doing really well there. So thanks for coming on. Smash the like on the video, you guys, and most of all, drop your comments. I know I might be silly asking this, but for the people who are completely against Poch, has what you heard from Michael changed your mind in any way, shape, or form? Have you opened your mind up to it, or are you still no? It must be Ten Hag or definitely not Poch. And if you did want Pochettino, has your mind changed after last night? I know a lot of people are thinking that as well. I think this is going to be a massive talking point until we do get a manager and just get behind whoever it is. And there's no right or wrong answer. I don't want this to be people getting at each other and getting onto it. It's football opinion, guys. You know what I mean? There is no right or wrong answer here. But I'm interested to know what you guys all think. So smash a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new, and we are out of here. Bridgie, I'll talk to you in 1 second. We are gone. Peace.